Okay, welcome back. So this is Honor MagicPad2, and one of the commenter asked me to compare the handwriting experience between this tablet and also the iPad A16. So I will start off with the MagicPad 2 first. Now let me just connect my Honor Magic Pencil 3. Okay, it's connected. So now let's begin. So you can choose your cover, you can choose your paper type. There are a lot of different papers, and there is some category like general, learning, office, customize. Customize, I think you can import, the template as a photo into your note. Alright, now let me just use horizontal corner, and I can choose the landscape. I will stick with landscape mode because I'm writing in the landscape format. Alright, let's go. Okay, so now let me just beautify my handwriting. Okay, done. So personally, I find that using Honor Magic Pencil 3 on the Honor Notes is a very good combo. The writing experience or the note-taking experience on this tablet using this particular stylus is absolutely wonderful. Okay, so if you want to compare to the Apple or iPad A16, I think that the iPad A16 note-taking function or the default note app is a bit simple, not as feature rich as this one. Anyway, one of the things that I think the iPad A16 will win this one is in terms of drawing flowchart. I will show you why. Okay, now let me just draw some flowchart. Let's say I want a box. Alright, because this MagicPad 2 or any Honor notes, they are so good that they actually draw some weird shape if you try to draw a rectangle. Okay, let's say if I draw like this, it becomes something like this. So if you draw close enough to a proper rectangle, only then it will become a rectangle. Alright, so now let me just remove these two. Draw another proper rectangle next to it. Alright, they look nice now. Now let me draw a line over. Okay, this is flat, 180 degrees. However, if I want to draw a L line, something like this, this is not exactly 90 degrees. Okay, so take note on this first. Then finally you draw the final rectangle box and write something like step 1, step 2, step 3. Okay, then maybe like 1, 2, 3. Alright, you will have some flowchart like this. I'm not sure how often you're going to draw this kind of flowchart, but I think if you are still a student or if you you know, go for lecture or go for meeting, sometimes you may need to draw something like this to take note of the process. So yeah, something like this. Okay, so now I will move on to the Apple iPad A16. All right, give me a moment. Okay, so here it is, the iPad A16. For this demo, I will use the Apple Pencil, the original Apple Pencil. So this is like USB-C to USB-C connection. So I need to find a cable, connect to it, then connect via the USB-C port. Alright, let me see whether is it working. Alright, it's connected. Now you can just remove it. Alright, writing experience. For this one, I think, yeah, you have a few lines and grids. Personally, I think this is good enough, you know. Let me just put lines. Now let me write something. Okay, so this is what you get. There's no beautification as far as I know. I did some research earlier, so I don't see there's any similar feature for the default note-taking app. So you have to, you know, rely on your own handwriting. Actually, no problem. I think reading your own handwriting makes a lot of sense, because even if you take physical notes, you are going to read the same thing. Okay, having like beautification is good to have, but for a basic note app, I don't think that is really necessary. Alright, so the writing experience is smooth, is consistent, and I really enjoy writing on it. Now let me draw some flowchart. Now take note on this. Okay, just now I draw a flowchart or a rectangle box that is not as rectangular as this. It will automatically change to this. Let's try to draw something even more drastic. Then you become like this. So in terms of, you know, identifying your pencil stroke, Apple doesn't behave like what you try to draw. They will try to interpret what is the best option for you. So for some people, this is good, but for some other people, if they want to have something closer to what they draw, this is not good. Okay, so take note on this. Now let me just undo this and continue drawing my flowchart. Okay, so far so good. Now take note on the L shape. This is 90 degrees. Okay, so it won't be like, you know, somehow like 91 or 92 or maybe 87 like what you get on the Honor MagicPad2 or any other Honor Notes app. So if you plan to draw a lot of flowcharts, I think the iPad A16 actually did a better job compared to the MagicPad 2, or the Apple Notes is better than the Honor Notes. But in terms of overall feature, I think the Honor Notes is still better than the Apple Notes. So which one to buy, it really depends on your priority. If your priority is note taking and you want more features, then of course MagicPad 2. And if your priority is watching videos, watching movies on a good screen, MagicPad 2. Alright, and if you want a modern design, thin bezels, again MagicPad 2. Alright, but But if you want software support, then definitely the iPad. Okay, I think MagicPad 2 only has one more major update left, if not mistaken. But iPad will usually give you like 5 and above. My previous experience with my iPad Pro 2017 was 7 major updates. So that experience was fantastic. Okay, so you have to think about it. Also, if you are using iPhone, then naturally I will recommend you to get an iPad because you can AirDrop with each other. But if you are using Android, then I think MagicPad 2 will be the better choice because you can quick share among or between your phone and your tablet. So these are also some of the things to consider. Also, one thing that Honor will definitely lose to Apple is the availability of spare parts. Let's say if I want to replace this stylus, or somehow my stylus end up losing somewhere else, how easy it is for me to get a replacement. Also, if I want to buy replacement nibs for my stylus, is it easy enough for me to buy? So far I find that the nib is very hard to get because a lot of commenters have been asking me where to buy this one, and I always redirect them to AliExpress for like international viewers. But I think some countries don't have access to AliExpress, so you have to think about it. If you're from Southeast Asia, then maybe you can buy directly from China, or maybe you can buy it from AliExpress. I think Philippines have access to AliExpress, I believe. But if you're from somewhere else, then you have to check out whether your country can purchase directly from China or not. However, for the Apple Pencil, you can simply get replacement part directly from Apple itself. But of course, if this is too expensive, there are actually other options like the ESR stylus. I bought this like few years back, and this is actually not very expensive. It's around maybe 60 ringgit. Can't really remember, but usually third-party stylus will be around this price, 40 to 60 ringgit. So it's pretty affordable. In fact, I have like 4 third-party stylus for my iPad. Of course, you have to see the compatibility between the third-party stylus and your iPad. But for the iPad A16, usually there are a lot of compatible stylus, and all of them support palm rejection. So it's a good thing. Most of them, if not all, don't have pressure sensitivity for the iPad A16. However, they do have tilt sensitivity. So do take note on this. Alright, I think that's all I can share with you. So hope you can make up your mind soon. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day ahead.